As you can see, we scored about average with the nation in most categories except for access to computers, which is something that the state does need to work on. We actually scored better than average in the category of use of technology in the classroom, which was surprising to me, but is definitely good. According to Tapscott, the evolution of the internet, more than anything, is driving this new age of business and education reform. Many businesses are active in open enterprises that are helping to shape consumer trust, which results in lower cost and loyalty. For example, companies like Progressive Insurance, who are open with their customers, offering free quotes on their websites as well as quotes of their competitors even when their competitors' rates are better, and customers respond to this by giving the company their trust. This is an example of how the internet and technology is having an impact on business, and Tapscott continues by describing the conventional or the old school way of business as opposed to this new, more innovative and restructured way of doing business using the internet and technology. So relating this to education, I'm currently in a class that teaches how to integrate technology into the classroom. And a few weeks ago we were studying the old one-room schoolhouse way of teaching as opposed to the new restructured way of teaching as shown in this chart from my textbook. Relating to my book, this is paralleled with the way businesses are changing the way they do things using technology, and schools are restructuring the way they do things because of technology also. For example, this classroom setting is set up in a restructured way. The way we set our own deadlines and make our own rules in this class is exactly what this textbook is talking about. The conventional setting for schools, social characteristics were teacher-controlled settings with students working independently, as opposed to the restructured setting where the teacher is functioning as the facilitator and guides students with modeling active learning, like a constructivism based classroom or discovery learning classroom, rather than just presenting information to the class and managing the classroom. Tapscott also talks about the difference between the old web and the new web. He says the first iteration of the web is like a digital newspaper. You could open its pages and observe its information, but you couldn't modify it or interact with it. Like, an example that comes to mind is the old Encyclopedia Britannica that you could buy, the CDs that you could buy at the end of every year that you could put on your computer, and you had a digital encyclopedia on your computer. Well, of course, that's outdated just because everything's, the resources and research that you can do with the internet and everything else is available electronically, through the internet. That was kind of how the old web was. You could pull it up and look at it, and that was pretty much it. The new web is fundamentally different from the old web. Whether people are creating, sharing, or socializing, the new web is principally about participating with software such as Wikipedia, rather than just passively receiving information like we did with the old web. Another mass collaboration that is impacting education is the role of internet-based classrooms in a secondary classroom setting. Internet-based classes in a secondary classroom setting. In another classroom I observed about a year ago, the teacher uses the Blackboard teaching tool. If you're not familiar with Blackboard, it's kind of like our WebCT. She requires the students to do a discussion board, to use the discussion board tool for group assignments that they're given. And using Blackboard, the high school students are able to do pretty much everything we're able to do with WebCT, like view and submit assignments, use the discussion board tool, view grades, course calendars, and so on. The teacher of this classroom gave me a username so I'm able to log in and view what the students work on. And this is a screenshot of what it looks like when the student logs on and the discussion board that I have open. The idea of mass collaboration in business and educational technology reform in accordance with the impasse standards is affected by a couple of those standards. The first is the communication standard because of how the world around us, especially in business and classroom settings, is beginning to revolve around communication, accessibility, and technology tools such as the internet. The second is standard number 10, which discusses collaboration and interaction amongst the teacher and parents, students, and community. Technology both in and out of the classroom is definitely helping us to achieve this standard, especially by getting parents involved. With this technology revolution we're experiencing, we're also seeing the emergence of internet courses at the junior high and high school level. I'm trying to make a lot of this information relative to everyone as future educators, mainly in Mississippi. And I, as well as many of you, probably have mixed feelings on this, but it's something that Dr. Bounds, the state superintendent, wants to try across the state. In a new plan he proposed to the state board about a year ago, he stated that by the end of 8th grade, each Mississippi student will have taken an online course. I believe Dr. Bounds is doing great things with the money allocated for technology use in the classroom, and I'm really excited to see how all of his plans will play out. So how does this affect us as future teachers in Mississippi? I also have a handout that describes Dr. Bounds' changes over the next few years in our high schools. All the 7th and 8th grade students will be required to earn an information and technology communication literacy credit, which will be through 2 classes that they will complete that are replacing the outdated career discovery and computer discovery at the 7th and 8th grade level. He's also started a plan that will enable students to choose one of 7 career paths their sophomore year in high school, such as a business or a health-related field, and this path will help them decide what courses they'll be taking for the last 3 years of their high school experience. Since most of us will be teaching in Mississippi, I wanted to share this information with you in case you didn't already know about it, because it's something that will definitely be affecting us within the next several years. This is all part of a plan that Dr. Bounds has started in an effort to reduce the dropout rate, catch up with changing technology, and make high school more relevant to all students, whether they enter college or the workforce upon graduation. Technology is impacting every aspect of our lives as a consumer, student, educator, and civilian in general. Through my studies of integrating technology into the classroom, this project has helped me realize that many other aspects of our world are being impacted. I'm excited and eager to see what the future of technology holds in terms of business, but especially in terms of educational reform in our classrooms as we make the inevitable adjustments to our everyday lives because of this great tool.